guys, well, welcome to part 2 of my flak jacket bulletproof test. I did not intend to do a second part, but in the comment section of that video, a lot of people had a lot of questions about different calibers being used against the vest. So what it is, I picked the 3 calibers that were continually coming up in the comment section, and I decided I was going to go ahead and make a second video on it just so you guys could see the effects of these rounds on this jacket and whether or not they would be effective against it, or whether or not it is an effective defensive tool against those rounds. So the 3 that you guys wanted to see the most were 357 Magnum, 45 ACP, which I'm very curious about for the same reason you guys were, which is since it is a slower moving bullet, even though it is more powerful and a larger round than 9mm with that lower velocity, is there a chance that maybe it wouldn't penetrate? So we're going to find out about that. And then of course, double-aught buck 12 gauge. So we're going to go ahead and throw some rounds at the jacket back here, and then we'll come back and see what we learned. So let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, well, here we are. We're just at about a little over 10 feet away, so we're well inside self-defense distances. We've got our, this is my my Taurus Model 65, 357 Magnum, very basic Smith & Wesson copy. So let's go ahead and pop off a shot, see what we got. All right, let's go ahead and take a look and see what we did. All right, so as you saw from the video, it knocked the crap out of the jacket. We've got our entry point right here, just on this side of where the 2 overlap, so it only had to go through 1 layer. And nothing on the other side. It did not go through at all, as a matter of fact. In fact, I can feel the bullet in there. It feels like it's expanded quite a bit, and it feels like it's dug itself pretty deep up into the layers. So some of you are going to be wondering, why did a 9mm penetrate this when the far more powerful 357 Magnum could not? It's because of the type of ammo that was used. When I was shooting this with 9mm, I was using full metal jacket. When I'm shooting this with 357 Magnum, I'm using a semi-jacketed hollow point. If I shot this with a full metal jacket 357 Magnum, I have no doubt whatsoever it would penetrate this very, very easily. The interesting thing about this, though, is the majority of ammunition out there on the market sold for 357 Magnum is going to be a hollow point of some type. Maybe it's a lead slug, semi-jacketed. So in a defensive situation, if somebody's got a 357 Magnum, chances are this jacket would probably stop the type of ammo they're using. So very interesting results there. Let's go ahead and jump up to the 45 and see what happens. All right, so what we got here next, we've just got a Glock 21. Going to go ahead and rack one in. This is a full metal jacket round, and let's see what we got going on. All right, let's check it out. All right, so shot the 45. Now we've got our entry point right here. What I did is I shot right next to where I had put the 9mm through the jacket. So we shot right here, went through, got the entry point right here, and on the back side, we have nothing. This is where the 9mm came out. This is roughly where the 45 should have come out, and it did not. Now, I can't really tell if the bullet is still in there, or maybe it hit and it fell down here somewhere. I'll dig it out later, but it definitely did not penetrate. So velocity definitely has a lot to do with penetration factor on this, as well as whether or not you're using full metal jackets or hollow points. So this is some good information, guys. So let's go ahead and jump up to buckshot, and we'll see what we got going on with that. All right, so 12 gauge double-aught buck, 9 pellet. Let's go ahead and see what we got. I'm gonna stand back just a little bit, see if I can get a little bit better spread on the pattern here, even though we are still pretty damn close. So let's see what we got going on, guys. All right, let's go check it out. All right, well, I went ahead and brought it over to the table since that was the last round I was going to throw at this thing. As you can tell, I did shoot it at the back of the flak jacket, which is the exact same thickness, exact same material as the front. I just wanted kind of a clear palette to shoot at with the 12 gauge. What we've got here is about an 1.5 inch diameter pattern here. So it didn't spread out very much. Of course, we were shooting at about 12 feet, so that's pretty much to be expected. Let's go ahead and flip it over and see if we got any actual penetration. And we did not, nothing. The hole is roughly about right here. In fact, I can feel where the material's been kind of distorted, but it did not penetrate whatsoever. So that's pretty interesting. 12 gauge double-aught buck. about 12 feet away. Very, very tight pattern. That's no doubt a devastating round, and it did not penetrate the flak jacket. All right, guys, well, that's it. I'm not going to do any more of these videos simply because the only place left to go after these last two videos is basically to start shooting rifle rounds at this thing, which I have absolutely no doubt will glide right through this vest. There's just too much velocity in just about every rifle round out there, so there's no point in doing that. I will say that this video shocked me even more than the last one, and I'm getting a much better picture of what this jacket is actually capable of. I mean, it stopped 357 Magnum, it stopped 45, it stopped, 12 gauge buckshot at 10 to 12 feet away in a very tight pattern. So the jacket has impressed me quite a bit. I think what I have gathered from these last two videos is basically that it's going to depend on the velocity and the type of ammunition. If you're firing something that has a fairly high velocity and it's full metal jacket, 9mm, 357 Magnum, 40, things like that, there's a good chance that it's going to just glide right through this, that it will penetrate this jacket. But if you're shooting something either lower velocity like the 45, or if you're shooting something in a defensive round like a hollow point that is going to dump all its energy very quickly and expand very quickly, then chances are this jacket's probably going to stop it. Now, as I've said before, your mileage may vary depending on age and country of origin, but I think that's a pretty good baseline to go by. I'm impressed by this jacket, and I would definitely say, given what I've seen in these last two tests, that I would highly recommend it as a good budget option for defensive body armor. Now, it is not plate armor. It is not soft body armor, okay? Don't be fooled into that. But if you can find it for 50 bucks or so, absolutely hands down it's worth it. I mean, it's proven itself right here in front of us. So I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up. I'm going to say for the price, it's a go for me. Now, I have seen these things selling for 100, 150 bucks online. At that price, no, of course not. Just go ahead and spend the 200 and get some plates or some soft body armor or whatever, okay? But I've also seen them go for 50 bucks at milsurp shops, on eBay, online, places like that. At that price, absolutely hands down, this is something anybody should be able to afford, and it is going to offer you a good, decent level of protection against a lot of handgun ammunition that might be used against you. As I said, I mean, granted, in full metal jacket, 357 would probably sail right through it, but the vast majority of 357 ammo out there that is sold and used by the public is going to be semi-jacketed hollow points or something similar, which this jacket can stop. So it does actually have a lot more defensive potential use than I originally thought. And again, 2 thumbs up. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed it and found it informative, and we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.